For over a decade, The Weeknd has dominated pop music with his unique voice and musical talent, but at his peak, a surprising shift occurred. Fans began to turn on him. So what changed? Why has one of pop's biggest stars lost the respect of his own audience? Well, the real reason relates to his dark background. Abel grew up in the town of Scarborough in Ontario, Canada. Both his parents were immigrants from Ethiopia, but his father abandoned him as a baby. So being raised by a single working mom, Abel didn't have a lot of guidance. He spent his childhood smoking weed, drinking, and doing hard drugs. Then at 17, Abel dropped out of high school and moved out of Scarborough to Parkdale, which is a neighborhood in Toronto. But this move was his greatest challenge yet. In Parkdale, Abel fell into a deep darkness. He was in and out of jail, and his dependency on drugs increased. Being homeless, Abel spent many sleepless nights singing on the streets.
The Weeknd, baby. Weeknd.
You don't know what's in store. Don't know what you're here for.
Music kept him alive. Abel eventually started creating music under a faceless alias called The Weeknd. Fans were astonished. He had a unique sound, yet remained a mystery. The Weeknd then dropped 3 albums, House of Balloons, alongside Thursday and Echoes of Silence, otherwise known as Trilogy. The Weeknd later received a cosign from Drake, and the rest is history. Flash forward to 2025, The Weeknd is one of the most accomplished artists of all time. He released 8 studio albums, headlined the Super Bowl, and became the first artist with 100 million Spotify listeners. Fans respected The Weeknd because he rose from the literal trenches and became one of the most successful artists of all time. He made the impossible possible, but at his peak, this is where things went downhill. In May of 2023, The Weeknd announced he wanted to kill The Weeknd. Changing back to his legal name, many people speculated that he wanted to drop The Weeknd to pursue the film industry, given that he contributed to famous soundtracks like Black Panther and 50 Shades of Grey. He also had a guest appearance in Uncut Gems, and also co-wrote and guest starred in an episode of American Dad, which was actually pretty funny.
I'm a virgin.
But most of all, it was announced a few months beforehand that he would be co-writing and starring in a new HBO series, The Idol. Creator of Euphoria, Sam Levinson, was set to direct. The cast was stacked with Lily Rose Depp, Troye Sivan, and Jennie from Blackpink. Many fans thought that the new chapter of The Weeknd was gonna be incredible. The cast was great, the director was great, and if The Weeknd's acting and writing is anything like his music, then it's probably good too. But oh boy, we were wrong. The Idol turned out to be one of the most hated TV shows of all time. Everyone was talking about it. The show centered around a troubled pop star who falls under the influence of a manipulative nightclub owner who uses bestiality practices to make her a better performer. The show contained many uncomfortable sex scenes that even made the production crew feel like they were witnessing, quote, sexual torture porn. Amy Seimetz originally was set to direct, but left because The Weeknd felt it was leaning too much into female perspective. But the worst part of this show was The Weeknd. He gave some of the cringiest scenes in television history.
Let me catch you looking at her again.
I'm sorry,
Let
I'm
me
not
fucking catch you looking at her again. I'll fucking drag you down Rodeo while your fucking ass just fucking stomp you. I'll fucking curb stomp you.
I'm sorry.
I'll fucking curb stomp you.
The Idol received a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes and was forced to end early due to the poor reception. Fans lost respect for The Weeknd. His personality was no longer this great mystery. We got a glimpse of who The Weeknd actually was. Although this project was disappointing, many fans understood that this was his first major production, which meant the next picture had to be great. A year after The Idol, The Weeknd announced his final album, Hurry Up Tomorrow. He also said a movie will be releasing with the album. Expectations were low after The Idol, but many still held out hope for Hurry Up Tomorrow, especially with Trey Edward Schultz, acclaimed director of Waves and It Comes at Night, set to co-write the film alongside Abel. Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan were also cast in the film, which are 2 of the biggest rising actors. Fans were also eager for this release because The Weeknd went out on a fairly big press tour. This showed a more authentic side of The Weeknd, in which we don't see very often. The elements were all there. Plus, the album, Hurry Up Tomorrow, was met with widespread acclaim, sparking hope that the film might capture the same magic. But nope, we were wrong again. This was just bad, and if not, worse than The Idol. Hurry Up Tomorrow follows Abel on tour, where he strikes up an unexpected bond with a girl named Anima, played by Jenna Ortega. What begins as a warm connection takes a dark turn when Abel announces he's leaving, prompting her to take him hostage and threatening to burn him alive unless he reveals the truth. This film was extremely uneventful and slow, but the worst part again was The Weeknd. Numerous clips of his cringy acting went viral.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. What are you doing?
A lot of people criticize this movie for being one big ego trip for The Weeknd. There's this one scene where Jenna Ortega's character is dancing around to his music, talking about how deep the lyrics are. And it's weird because The Weeknd wrote this. Hurry Up Tomorrow was also inspired by his experience when he lost his voice on the Dawn FM tour. The Weeknd also mentioned in an interview that it's about his sleep paralysis, which some found these inspirations a bit self-indulgent. Just like The Idol, the internet destroyed this movie. The Weeknd lost further respect from fans, and this movie further revealed his personality. It is clear that Abel wants to be taken seriously in the film industry, but we already took him seriously as a musician. It's ironic because The Weeknd tapped into his listeners' emotions through his music, but The Idol and Hurry Up Tomorrow feel emotionless. Many people praise The Weeknd because he wasn't like any other artist. He rose from poverty, homelessness, and addiction, which are all very real problems. But it does seem like the more Abel revealed his true identity, the less people were interested. Now, playing the devil's advocate, if you're the biggest artist in the world, then you're always in the spotlight. So if you try something new, like film in this case, then there's a lot of pressure to be perfect. But many artists have also made similar moves, like Eminem, when he helped create his own biopic, 8 Mile, which was great because it showed the realness of Eminem. If The Weeknd wants to make a good and interesting movie about himself, then make one about his days in Parkdale. People want to see when artists were human, not when they were idols. Regardless of his incredible music career, it is clear that The Weeknd's transition to the film industry may be his biggest mistake.